So now that we have 3 out of the 4 CRUD operations in place, it's time to tackle the very last one, which is how we can delete an entity from our table. Now, first of all, don't get confused by the price here. I added an extra column of data to our ingredients table off camera. So that's sort of a nice little challenge for you after we conclude this video, because that will make you go through all of the database migrations again. So it's a really good exercise, and you can just see exactly how you did with the name and just transfer it over to the price, and you can go back and watch the previous videos if you're a bit unsure on how to do that. But that's for the end of this video. For this particular video, we will make a delete button, and when we press it, it should delete that part from the database. So let's open up our code. And the very first thing is that we want to add a delete button. So we go to the index file in our ingredients table, and we simply make a new header for a deletion. And we want basically the same thing here. We want a link that is displayed as a red button. And we'll just name this. I name this from control, so we can just fix that right there. We will give it an ASP action of delete, so it will go to the delete action, delete method. We will also pass in a route ID because we need to know exactly which ingredients we want to delete. So we will pass in the ID of that ingredient, and then we will simply give it a title of delete. So let's just take that for a spin and make sure that it works. Okay, so we get presented with our delete button, and if we hover over it, we can see that the link also displays the proper ID. So here we would delete the ingredient with ID 1 and here with ID 3. So that's all well and good. So now we just need to implement the actual action. So you can see this workflow that we're in is, the very basic workflow. You usually make some sort of a view, where you have a button or something to do the thing you want to do, and then you implement the action you go into, and you usually do a bit of work, talk to the database, and then you return out of view again. So that's the basic workflow when you're working in .NET Core. So we will create a new method, and we will simply call it delete, and it will take possibly an ID in. So first, usually I just return a view just to satisfy all the red squiggly lines. I might have a bit of OCD there, my eyes can't really take it, so I have to get rid of it right away. So the first thing is that we need to check if ID is null or if ID is 0. In that case, we will return a not found. There we go. So if we have an ID, we want to delete it. So in order to delete something, we first have to find the ingredient to delete, and then we have to delete it from the database and save the changes. So finding the ingredients, again, is really simple. We've done this before. We just make a new ingredient object, and it will be equal to finding it from the database. So we talk to our database context, we ask for the ingredients table, we call the find method, and we pass in the ID. So now we will get the particular ingredient we want to delete. And to remove it, we can simply talk again to our database, this ingredients table, and there is a remove method which takes in an entity object that we have right here as the ingredient. And after that, we can simply save our changes. And that is it. Now we don't want to return an actual delete view. We will just redirect to an action, and we will go back to the index method. So whenever just like when we edit something, whenever the changes have been made, we will just redirect out to the index method, and we should be able to see the changes right then and there. So let us just quickly refresh this page here. Okay, so if we want to delete something, let's say we want to delete this potato here, I can press the delete button, and it will remove that potato and redirect us back to the index page. I could remove the corn as well, and again, same thing, goes to the delete action, and then it redirects us back to this index view. So that is actually it. We have now created a very basic application, but still we have learned quite a lot. We have made a database. Well, first of all, we've made a brand new .NET project. We made our database, we created our database context that would talk to the database. We set up our models, we migrated it up into the database to create the tables, and then we implemented all the 4 CRUD operations so we can, create new ingredients, edit and delete and view them all. So we have a lot of, or we have built a very good foundation, and we have all the basics covered here. And you can, of course, just expand upon this and go crazy all you want. And as mentioned at the start of this video, I would like you to try to tackle this challenge where you implement the price. And I'm not going to show you the solution, because you should be able to figure it out if you go back and look in the first few videos, or just look at how you made the ingredients. What do you think it would take to create the price? And just remember, whenever you change the model and you want that to be reflected in the database, you have to do a migration. Just remember that, and if you can't remember how to do it, you can always Google .NET migrations, or you can go back and watch one of the first videos in this course. So that is going to conclude the beginners tutorial series here on this channel. And we're not going to take this any further, but we might do other .NET tutorials on various different subjects. So if there's anything in particular you would want to learn, just hit me up, comment on the videos. I respond to every single comment. And if you got this far and you enjoyed the content, please hit that subscribe button, throw in a comment or a like. All these things help build and grow the channel, gives me feedback, and that's why I do it, to get some positive feedback and hopefully to help some of you out there to learn this new technology. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you in another video.